Hello, my name is Amy Sturkey. I'm a pediatric physical therapist. I'm here with Ilya, who is now almost 11 months old.
Yes, actually.
And his mama, Erica. And as you can see, Ilya has a helmet on. So I wanted to give a basic talk about helmets and all the questions that people might ask about helmets. And since you've just gone through this process, it'll be fresh in your mind.
Yeah.
So a helmet is used to correct a variety of head shape problems. So one of the most common ones is a plagiocephaly. I believe that's what he had, where you have a flattened spot on the back side of your head.
Yeah.
It can also be used for brachycephaly. That's when you have a flat spot on the back of your head. It can also be used for scaphocephaly. That's when you have a narrow head that's tall and narrow. And that can be from positional problems, or it can be from when you have a suture that goes right up the middle of your head and it can close up too soon.
Oh, wow.
And so that can cause that long, narrow head. And in general, when your sutures, they're supposed to close at the right time, and if they close too early, you have to have endoscopic surgery to try to open up those sutures, and then you'd have to have a helmet too.
Yeah, okay.
So it's prescribed by a doctor, and the general idea of it is you put a helmet on that's custom made specifically for his head, and then the parts of the head that are prominent, it puts gentle, persistent pressure on that spot, and the spots that are too recessed or too back or haven't come out well enough, they don't put pressure on that at all. So it can allow your head to grow out into those spots. The classic time that the very best is if you get it started at between 4 to 6 months of age.
Yeah.
But it can be in a range of anywhere from 3 to 18 months of age. So how old was Ilya when he got his?
So he had just turned 10 months old the day that he got the actual band. So he did have to have a consultation appointment first, where they determined if he had a medical need for it. And then at that appointment, they said, hey, you also need to see a craniofacial or neurosurgeon in order to receive a referral. They were like, without that referral, we can't do the treatment unless you're willing to pay out of pocket. So we went to the neurosurgeon that we were scheduled with, and they visited with him. They looked at the report from the referring doc band specialist, and then they agreed. They were like, okay, yes, we do believe that this is a medical device that he's going to need, so we'll send that referral over. Now, from the time that they sent the referral from their practice back to the doc band specialist, that did take time, which is what initially took so long to get the actual band. But once they did that, he had an appointment for them to take additional pictures for his measurements. And then 2 weeks after they took his measurements, we went and picked it up on September the 19th.
Okay, so it was kind of a process. And that's one of the things that they say, well, let's backtrack a little. They say that 85% of your cranial growth, your skull growth, happens in the first year of life. So the earlier you can get in to get a cranial band, the better.
Yes.
And they say that 70% of the time insurance carriers cover cranial banding, but you do have to go through the process.
Yes.
And some of insurance carriers, you have to get prior authorization, and that can take 2 to 4 weeks. And some insurance companies require you to do 2 months of conservative treatment first. So that'd be physical therapy and aggressive repositioning and documentation and evaluation by experienced therapists. So there are things that can happen along the way that can put it off. So this is all being said, it's best to start this process earlier. Yeah. So the assessment often is free.
I guess. Yep. I'll be honest, I can't say for sure because anytime I go, I supply his insurance card just in case.
Right. So in the assessment, what they do is they put a net over his head, so smush down his hair.
Like a sock.
And then they take 3D photos of him. Is that how they did it?
Yes, they do. So from the front, and then from the side, and then the back as well, just so that they have an idea of like what his shape looks like.
And they're able to, from that, 3D map his head to be able to make the helmet.
Yes, that's I guess what takes the most time to get it, because it does have to be to his specifications, because not all babies' heads are the same.
And I guess some people worry that there's x-rays or laser beams or things like that. It's just a photo that they're doing, so it's nothing invasive to be able to measure. And like I say, check around. Some places do it for free, just to be able to block any barriers you might have from getting a cranial band. So a cranial band, it starts off, it's got a hard piece of plastic on the outside, and inside of that is foam.
Yes.
And that foam the whole thing is about a 1/2 inch thick to start with.
Yeah.
But as the baby's head grows, they shave out some of the foam to be able to match the growth of his head.
Yes, exactly. As a matter of fact, he just had an adjustment appointment recently, and at his appointment, they had to shave down this frontal part here and this part back here some, so that he would have more room to grow. The areas that, here you go, do you want this back? The areas that they're working on his growth in are where they did the shaving, because this is where...
So they're opening up space for your brain, your skull to grow into.
Yes, because these were the areas that had more growth, that they were seeing the additional volume.
Right.
So yeah, that's what they did at his last appointment.
And so they reassess every time your skull grows, and that turns out being around every 2 weeks. You're wearing the helmet 23 hours a day?
Yeah, so he wears it about 23 hours a day, and he gets a 1 hour break. I typically reserve his break for when it's bath time, or when I'm gonna feed him and then give him a bath, because typically eating is messy. So that's his messiest time. So he will get his bath typically when he's getting that break, and after his bath, I have to have enough time to like blow dry his hair, because his hair has to be absolutely dry at the time that we put it on, because he already, one of the things about having the helmet is he sweats a lot. He's already a pretty sweaty guy, so it only makes him sweat more. So when we put it on, we don't want it to have more moisture than needed.
Right. I think they said it's not uncommon for the first 2 weeks for there to be a lot more sweating until they get used to it. And then it just kind of comes down. Yeah. And now, in comparison to when we got the helmet on the 19th in September, it has gone down a lot. And it's just a compensation thing. His body had to get used to wearing the helmet for it to stop making all that sweatiness. They say that you're not supposed to, if you take him swimming, you're not supposed to wear the helmet, or if he's playing in the sand, you're not supposed to wear the helmet.
Yes, that is right. Any additional moisture or any additional dirt that can get in there is not good for the foam on the inside, and in some cases can lead to mildew, which we definitely don't want.
Now, they say the average length of use is about 3 months, but there's a range of 2 to 6 months. Did they tell you about how long they thought he would be wearing it?
So we didn't get an exact time of use. They didn't tell us when we would expect to get it off, but one of the initial questions that I asked at the consultation appointment was, how long do they typically wear a helmet? And I was told at the time that that's about 14 to 16 weeks.
Okay.
So
16 weeks.
Yeah.
So I think what they're looking for, so in the initial assessment, they are looking, they look at the measurements from here to here and here to here, especially on plagiocephaly.
Yeah.
And if there's 6 millimeters difference between the sides, then they recommend a helmet, and I think they want to get less than 5 millimeters difference to be able to stop using a helmet. Or they're also looking for the head shape to be within 2 standard deviations of normal. So I think that's part of how they decide when to get a helmet and when you can stop getting a helmet. So initial wearing schedule, you didn't start off at 23 hours a day.
No, because he needed to have an adjustment period where he could get used to it and take a little bit of a break before it became a full-on all-day thing. So the first 3 days, I would say, he wore it for 3 to 4 hours at a time and then would have an hour off and so on. And he didn't wear it at night. He didn't actually start wearing it at night until the Friday of the week that we got it. So we got it on a Tuesday. We got it on a Tuesday, and then that Friday was the day that he wore it the whole day, slept in it, and only got the 1 hour break.
And did he have any troubles getting used to it?
Not at all. It was almost like nothing had even happened. Even now, it's like nothing even happened.
So he didn't lose skills because of this heavy weight on his head? You said it's actually quite light.
No, like nothing even happened. He actually, he still goes to his physical therapist and his feeding therapist. And honestly, they didn't see a change in his ability. As a matter of fact, he started doing more than he was doing.
Really?
Just he woke up.
Some people worry that it's uncomfortable. You haven't noticed him being in pain?
Not at all. The only thing we've struggled with recently is teething. The helmet is actually the least of his concern. So he's just saying, I'm just living my life.
Now, one of the other concerns people have is that hair falls out. He's got a lot of hair. So have you had trouble with any hair falling out?
No, we do. His bangs, I guess, are really long. So we actually have to put them up, and honestly his hair is still just as thick as when it was put on, and we haven't seen any hair loss at all.
Okay, good. They do say that if the kids are playing out in the sun for extended periods where the direct sun is hitting it, that it can get hot on the head, and you need to watch that. What about cleaning it? What did they tell you about cleaning it?
Yeah, so when I clean it, typically it's during that 1 hour time off. So while he's just playing in the floor or whatever, I will go get like a paper towel or a cotton ball or something, and I'll wet it with 70% isopropyl alcohol. And I'll wipe the inside out. There is discoloration from the sweating, and that doesn't really go away. So, anybody that does get a helmet, it's going to be discolored. But after I wipe it out really good, I also wipe out the outside, and then I just let it dry, or make sure that it dries that full hour that he's not wearing it. So it's the first thing that I do, just to give it enough time.
They said that you can use blow dryer on cool to be able to get it completely dry if you have any concerns about that.
Yes.
So the next thing is what a lot of people talk about is whether to decorate or not. Where are you in that decision-making process?
So we do want to decorate it just to kind of give it some life, give it some character.
Did they offer to do that at the clinic where you had it done, or are you going to do that separately?
They did not. So it's something that we have to do. Now, some of the things that they advise is, don't give it to anyone to like decorate for you. Don't send it somewhere where someone can decorate it. They make special stickers and decals and tapes and things that you could put on it.
Babble-worthy and dot band stickers and...
Yes. There are certain types of paint that you can use, but they say you should only do it in the hour that you have. You shouldn't, you shouldn't spend a lot of time decorating it, because it can affect the treatment time.
Well, I mean, it's all based on the intensity of treatment. If you're out of the helmet very long, it can affect the head, how long it takes for the head shape to change, and everybody is wanting this to be as short a period of time as possible.
Yes.
I have a lot of parents who are really reticent about a helmet. And what were your thoughts when you thought about? Was it something you worried about what he would look like, or what were your thoughts around it?
So, and this is going to be, I would say that this is a special case, and the reason why is because I actually wore a back brace as a kid. I have scoliosis, and so for around 3 years I wore a back brace, and I mean, it's not something you can help. If you need it, you need it. You need to do what's best for you, or you need to do what's best for your child. And so, my only thing was I didn't want it to hurt, because my back brace was for corrective, measures, but it was a different circumstance. And so I remember the pain that I had when I wore it, and I was more so concerned about pain for him. That was really the only thing. I didn't want him to be hurting, and they told me that kind of the way you explained it, that there's just constant light pressure on the areas that they want to not necessarily restrict the growth, but so that it can be directed to the places that need it.
Right.
And so I was only worried about pain. And so that was the only thing in my brain that I worried about.
And what about family members and people in the community? Do they look at him twice or give you a hard time or not happy with it?
I mean, honestly, yeah, they look at it, but it's not because they're being rude or mean. Honestly, some people just want to know what it is. They're like, hey, why does he have that? Why is he wearing that? And it just gives me the opportunity to be like, oh yeah, well, while he was in my belly, he just had the way his skull formed, he just needed some extra, correction with it because it didn't form the way that all babies' heads form, I guess.
Right.
So it's really more of a learning opportunity for people. That's how I look at it. I don't really look at it as a standpoint like somebody's judging him because, I mean, this is only a blip in his life.
Right.
So, I mean, this isn't going to make him who he is. He's going to grow up to be somebody else. So,
I think we went through most of the things. So this was really helpful, especially to have someone who's recently done this process to be able to talk about it. So I appreciate so much your time, and you are adorable.
Yeah.
Hope this is helpful for you, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
If you liked this video and would like to be notified by email when the next video comes out, click the subscribe button here and click the golden bell icon and ensure notifications are enabled on your account.